All right, guys, welcome back to Crypto Harmonics. This is Monday, October 23rd. And in today's video, I want to look at the upcoming Bitcoin Gold hard fork that's going to happen. We have a futures price now trading for it, so we can get some kind of idea of what price to expect as it comes out here in the next couple days. And then I also want to look at an article that I found that I think is the most bullish indicator for Bitcoin ever. And I'll explain that. And then I want to look at a simple way that I use for people that don't really want to trade super frequently, just a simple way to rebalance your portfolio and how to use harmonic patterns to do that. And then lastly, we're going to hop over to the harmonic patterns and check out the technical analysis on the charts. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin Gold futures price, and as of right now, it's having this massive run up right now. There's not a lot of volume here at all, but people just speculating on this. It's been right around 0.07 of a Bitcoin, so 7% of the price of Bitcoin, which puts us roughly in the $300 to $400, maybe $500 range for one Bitcoin Gold. So if you guys are holding for the hard fork, you can expect somewhere around that price range, maybe $300, kind of right around where Bitcoin Cash is. Will that hold? I don't think it has near the backing of Bitcoin Cash, and consensus around the crypto space is that it just really is poorly planned, and maybe good intentions and a good idea, but just the execution maybe isn't there. So I don't expect that price to hold up very long at all. So I will definitely be selling all my Bitcoin Gold, especially if I can get in the 500s like I got with Bitcoin Cash. I will definitely be taking Bitcoin Gold. So expect, as if we flip back over to the charts here, expect a lot of volatility up into this and even after it a little bit as people begin to take profits. And so we'll see. I'm expecting people to begin to take profits and a swing back into the altcoins. And so we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that as this week progresses and kind of see what which altcoins are going to profit. I'm gonna look at those towards the end of this video. Okay, so the next thing I just wanted to talk about real briefly, I found this very interesting, that there's been so many articles out about Bitcoin going to 25K, Bitcoin 10,000, Bitcoin 50,000. But this article, and they're good articles too, like from some pretty respectable people, and I agree with them. But this article right here, although they did not give a price prediction for Bitcoin, this article right here might as well say Bitcoin to $1 million because of what's happening with the other options. What do I mean, the other options? Your fiat currency, your government-backed currency. And so these countries that are experiencing hyperinflation, like Zimbabwe and Venezuela over the last few years, are beginning to see a way out, and they're beginning to take the exit and say, you know what? I don't want to play the game anymore. If you're going to devalue my earnings month after month, year after year, here in America, it's month after month or year after year. In Venezuela and Zimbabwe, it's daily. They have to calculate prices of cups of coffee after they're done with the first cup of coffee. The second cup of coffee is going to cost you a little bit more. That's how quickly the wealth is eroding away there. So they're seeing an option. They're seeing a way out. I'll post the link to this article, and you can kind of read it. I'm not going to read it now, but just all the Bitcoin miners. There's one person down here mining Litecoin, and they're mining 20 to 25 Litecoins a month, and that's creating about $1,000 worth of income, which may not sound crazy to you, but in a country where it says here the minimum monthly salary is $40 a month, and then they get a government voucher for about 60. So $100 a month is you can get by, but you're making 1,000 mining Litecoin. So it's just very interesting to me, and I think this is going to begin to happen on a grander scale, country by country, as the wealth is eroded away and the transference of that wealth begins to go into cryptocurrencies, because people can choose their currency for the first time in a long time. And so I think that's really cool. Yes, there is kickback. You're going to have the government kickback, especially when the government like Venezuela is paying your electricity bill. Obviously, they don't want you using it to get around their capital controls. But anyways, I just found this very interesting. You guys read through that and see. I think it's so cool. I think this is a sign of things to come in other countries. It's not going to be good. It's going to be messy, but it's definitely something that needs to happen so that we can kind of reset and begin to have fair money again. Okay, so one of the things I'm learning in cryptocurrencies is when to trade and when to rebalance my long-term portfolio. And right now I'm in a let's not trade so much, but rebalance the portfolio, the longer term portfolio. So, and what I mean by that is, some people may not want to trade cryptocurrencies actively every single day, look for altcoins, trade on Bittrex, Poloniex. I have a portion of my fund that I do that with. I have a portion of my cryptocurrency fund that is passive income, like cryptocurrency mining, so you have a steady bottom line, and other things like that. And then I have a portion of my fund that sits offline, and I'm just basically holding a portfolio of cryptocurrencies, and I want to rebalance or rearrange them. When they have blow off tops like that, take profits, switch over into another cryptocurrency that hasn't had a blow off top. Don't get greedy. Just take your profits. Go, if anything, just go back into Bitcoin. Like when Monero had this huge run up, I'm not saying you're going to pick the top perfectly, but once it gets crazy looking overvalued there, just go ahead and take some profits. So everything moves up and down, right? We know that. And this is my way of kind of, I'll use these big patterns here to rebalance my portfolio. So right now, this isn't a trade for me. I'm not setting a stop loss below X. I'm rebalancing my portfolio. So my longer term strategies with holding, Bitcoin, Dash, Litecoin, Monero, Ethereum, I can't think of off the top of my head right now all this, but they basically, this is one, okay, that I'm saying, look, I think Monero at 1.5% the value of Bitcoin, it was 3.5%. Now maybe it was overvalued there, but it definitely could have a run back up to where it's about 2.5%, the price of Bitcoin. So I may want to begin rebalancing and taking some of the profits that I've had in Bitcoin and switching some over to Monero and writing this up. I'm not, if this comes down, I'm okay with that. I'm writing this out longer term, right? And I'm waiting for this move to come up here. So there's a few that I'm doing that with. I just wanted to show Monero as an example. I'm also looking at switching over Dash and Litecoin. I think those will outperform Bitcoin as well once we have this switch back over into another altcoin boom, basically, which is going to happen. This is, everything's cyclical. It moves in waves. And so we're having this huge bullish Bitcoin run. And then at some point there's going to be a correction. No one can pick the exact top, but at some point we're going to have a correction and profit taking is going to happen and come off into, maybe some into fiat currencies. But a lot of altcoins are going to profit as people begin to switch from Bitcoin over into some of these altcoins. Okay, another coin I wanted to look at was Ethereum. I've been bullish on Ethereum for a while, and I've been accumulating Ethereum for, maybe like a month and a half or so. But after we had this big rundown, we had this bat pattern here. That was a short for me down into this area. potentially somewhere in the kind of where we're at right now, and that's where I began buying it. So I'm a little bit break even, but actually I think I'm a loss because I was still buying in here. So but for me, that's okay. This is my longer term portfolio, and I think me being able to buy Ethereum in the 270s is a steal. And it might even come down to, if you see here, I've got this Fibonacci here. It might come down to this 618 at roughly 260, 259. It definitely could run down into that. I think Ethereum is a great steal. One of the things I just briefly look at this, I mean, and maybe somebody can explain it to me, but Ethereum having these massive amount of transactions. I mean, 550,000 transactions the other day, and Bitcoin did 312. And so now I know that it doesn't necessarily have to equate to value, but I think there's something to be said about the velocity of money and the use cases of Ethereum and all the things that are built on it. So, and then we can look at this. We've got another divergence happening here with the market share, Ethereum's market share being basically taken away by Bitcoin. And now we're sitting at Bitcoin possessing almost 60% of the total crypto space, while Ethereum only has 16% of the total market cap. And we go back here when Ethereum had this big run up, and we were at 39 and 31. So I don't know. I think, knowing that things move in waves, this maybe was to be expected, but I definitely expect in the future for this to converge again after this divergence. Okay, so lastly, I want to look at something that was kind of brought on by a question somebody asked in the Slack saying, okay, when Bitcoin has this massive run, does it just invalidate all these patterns? Like, should we even trade these patterns? And it's a really good question because Bitcoin is just blowing through all these patterns, and they would be hitting your stop losses basically, right? So the answer is, in a way, yes. You want to be very aware when Bitcoin's having a massive run. You really don't want to bet against it, and people learn that lesson the hard time. I've learned it personally over and over again. Like, don't bet against it when it's having that run. But also, in a way, no, because at some place these alts are going to pick back up and they are going to have another run up. It happens that way over and over again. And all these patterns are doing is allowing you the best possible place for the possibility of a reversal. Not a guaranteed reversal at this place, but it's putting you in the best position possible for a reversal, so you're not just hopping on the train later. So that being said, this was a portfolio rebalancing trade, right? This Dash here, and I'm switching Bitcoin over to Dash, and it's still falling. And if this was a trade, I'd be stop loss at red line, which is very possible that it hits that with the bullishness of Bitcoin. But I'm willing to just ride that out and watch Dash come back up, and then I'll switch back over to Bitcoin. But let me show you guys something really quick, what I found. What's actually working really good trading wise, not talking about rebalancing portfolio, but intraday trading, on the 1 hour even, is the cryptocurrency pairs that are pegged to the dollar. So the Ethereum dollar price, or the Bitcoin dollar, or Dash dollar, or Litecoin dollar. These are working really well. And let me show you an example on Ethereum. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Okay, so this is Ethereum USD on the 1 hour. And some guys have asked, can I trade 1 hour, 30 minutes, 50 minutes? Absolutely, but I would do it mainly on the USD pairs. So Ethereum USD, Litecoin USD, Bitcoin USD, Dash USD. I would do it on those. It seems to work a little better on the lower time frames. But it works on the other BTC pairs also, but just right now with the BTC volatility and bullishness, I definitely would just stick to these. So this works really well. This comes down to the 886. If you haven't watched the video on the detailed video on how to trade the bat pattern, I would suggest doing it. It's a very powerful tool to have in your arsenal. It doesn't have to be the only thing you trade, but it can be. So let's see. So we got this an entry at 291 Ethereum, and I'm just looking for this B point here, which is 301 Ethereum, and then we're out. So that's like a 3.5% return on my investment in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, 10 or 11 hours. So pretty good. And then my risk would be down here a little past the X, probably risking about 2% on that trade. So pretty cool. There's some other patterns popping up that I can see. I think I have one somewhere in this 269 to 272 range for Ethereum, looking for a reversal there. I know it's been just getting slammed right now, so we'll see. But yes, these patterns really work on these USD pairs. Even when Bitcoin is just thrashing everything, this still works. But I'm finding it to work a lot better on the shorter term, at least on these USD pairs. All right, guys, that about does it for me. I'll be keeping an eye on this, as I'm sure you will too. Hopefully we can get some $300 or $400, $500 Bitcoin gold. That'd be nice. I will sell it for sure. So, all right. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I will talk to you all soon.